Have you ever wondered why, despite eating well, exercising regularly, and doing everything right, your legs still feel weaker? Why does it feel like steps are becoming steeper? And why does it take a bit longer now to get out of a chair than before? Is it just aging, or is there another factor subtly harming you? The answer might surprise you. In reality, most older adults are quietly making a mistake every day, and they do so with the absolute assurance that they are making the right decisions. They've been told throughout their lives that fruit is healthy, natural, and good for them. And yes, most of it is good. But here's a truth rarely discussed. Not all fruits are suitable for older adults. In fact, some fruits, the very ones we consume without question every week, can gradually weaken legs, cause knee pain, worsen arthritis, and make walking more challenging. These fruits, advertised as healthy, can actually be detrimental to your mobility, balance, and leg strength. As we age, our bodies change, our circulation weakens, our metabolism slows down. Foods that once benefited us can now subtly begin to harm us, especially certain fruits. They may seem innocent, they may have a sweet taste, yet they contain a lot of acids, carbohydrates, and other substances that affect blood sugar levels, cause joint inflammation, and weaken your legs. What's worst? The damage is gradual, subtle, and undetectable, until one day you feel a sharp pain in your calves, persistent thigh pain, or a strange stiffness in your knees after just a quick walk. Today, I will reveal the 7 most deadly fruits that any senior over 60 should steer clear of, especially if you want to protect your legs from long-term harm, pain, and weakening. Though they may seem harmless, none of these fruits are entirely innocent. You will never look at your fruit plate the same way again after you've learned the truth. So, follow me to the very end if you value your strength and want to maintain stable, strong, and pain-free legs. Your body might be waiting for this wake-up call. But wait a moment before we begin. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications if you care about your health. Because here, we reveal truths that no one discusses. And I want to know if you agree with me. If this video resonated with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. You don't realize how much your voice matters. 1. Pineapple, the anti-inflammatory betrayer. Let's start by discussing the first fruit on our list, pineapple. It's lauded for its ability to reduce inflammation, but it can have the opposite effect on older adults. Pineapple, the first fruit, and the silent information gatherer, has been praised for years as a natural anti-inflammatory due to a substance called bromelain. Here's the twist, though. While many people think pineapple reduces inflammation, it can be a silent saboteur for older adults. Pineapple contains strong acids and natural sugars. Moreover, those sugars aren't as harmless as they seem, especially if you're over 60. Our blood vessels become more fragile and sensitive as we age. They no longer react to increased sugar levels in the same way. Despite its benefits, pineapple delivers a powerful dose of natural sugars to the bloodstream. How does it work? It rapidly increases blood sugar levels. The blood vessels supplying your legs, feet, and muscles can be injured as a result of that spike. When circulation worsens over time, less oxygen reaches your legs. And you know what the result is? Pain, exhaustion, swelling. After a short walk, you experience dull, lingering pain in your legs, that stiffness in your knees when standing. Your ankles suddenly ache, even if you've been sitting all day. There's more. Pineapple is acidic. In addition to being sweet, that acid can cause joint irritation, especially if you are already suffering from inflammation or arthritis. It fuels that smoldering burn that has been affecting your ankles, hips, and knees. Some even observe their legs feel heavy after eating pineapple, as if strength is gradually weakening. You also need to be aware of one more thing. If you're taking any medications, especially blood thinners, the well-known enzyme bromelain can interact with them, becoming excessively strong or not strong enough. The most dangerous aspect of all, however, is this. There are no immediate, noticeable negative effects of pineapple. No obvious indication or instant pain. Instead, it subtly infiltrates until you finally realize that you are unable to move as you once could. The saddest part, too. The majority of older adults are unaware that the fruit they consume for health reasons could be contributing to the annual weakness they experience in their legs. So what can you do? It's not necessary to completely disregard pineapple. However, you must be aware and consume it in moderation, especially if you are already dealing with persistent leg pain or unexplained swelling. The harm is subtle but genuine. 2. Bananas, the muscle masquerader. Now, if a fruit with anti-inflammatory properties like pineapple can be so bad for aging legs, what about the next one? It's soft. It's delightful. It's widely known for boosting your muscle strength and potassium levels. However, it can deceive you. Let's discuss bananas. Bananas, the second fruit, are muscle masqueraders. Soft, sweet, and rich in potassium, bananas are a fantastic food. They're said to provide energy, avert cramps, and be beneficial for muscles. However, the situation is different for older adults. Natural sugars and rapidly digestible carbohydrates are abundant in bananas. This indicates that soon after eating, your blood sugar levels spike, and your body begins to fight insulin when that happens frequently. Blood flow becomes weaker. Inflammation increases. Your legs are affected as well. As a result, you might experience a dull ache when walking or climbing stairs, a heavy sensation in your legs after meals, and stiffness in your calves. The story doesn't end there. Bananas also help you retain more fluid, especially if you have heart problems. This leads to stiff joints, swollen legs, and puffy ankles. This effect goes unnoticed. You believe they're helping your muscles, so you eat them. Instead, they could be gradually depleting your strength. The worst part comes next. It won't hit you right away. However, over time, eating bananas can make it more difficult to move and cause more pain. Consider the fruit on your plate. If you frequently feel heavy, achy, or swollen in your legs, bananas might not be as sweet as they first appear. 3. Grapes. Significant inflammatory effects from a little fruit. What if something even smaller than a banana could achieve this? Small, appealing, and innocent looking, yet it can make your joints burn. Let's discuss grapes. Grapes, the third fruit, have significant inflammatory effects. They appear innocent, tiny, juicy, and easy to eat as a snack. They also have a stellar reputation, heart-healthy, packed with antioxidants. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of this. Older people can experience mild leg pain, stiffness, and inflammation when they eat grapes. Why? Because grapes contain fructose, a substance that can be harmful in high concentrations, a type of sugar that is directly absorbed by the liver and becomes fat and uric acid when your liver is unable to fully process it. The real harm starts after that, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees. Uric acid accumulates in the joints. It causes an agonizing burning pain and swelling. That persistent, aching pain makes even gentle walking difficult. Have you ever had that sharp pain in your big toe at night? That sudden stiffness in your calves? It could be something as minor as a handful of grapes causing your uric acid to rise. Furthermore, it doesn't end there. Chronic inflammation of your body is also fueled by fructose. This necessitates slower movement, increased pressure, and stiffness. Grapes are also too simple to overindulge in. They're small enough to casually pop into your mouth. They're not heavy. Before you know it, you've consumed 2 or 3 cups. In addition, the sugar rapidly accumulates. Therefore, even though grapes may appear to be a nutritious snack, they can subtly weaken, decrease flexibility, and make your legs less comfortable as you age. Now you know what might be hidden behind that sweetness. If you've been eating grapes frequently and have experienced an increase in stiffness and swelling, be mindful. 4. Watermelon, the hydration imposter. What if there's something else, even smaller, that can achieve this? Small, appealing, and innocent looking, yet it can make your joints burn. Let's discuss grapes. Watermelon, the 4th fruit, is a hydration imposter, light, refreshing, a representation of hydration in summer. Could this watery fruit be subtly harming your legs? Isn't that strange? Since everyone agrees that watermelon is a good way to stay hydrated, feels secure, has few calories, and is mostly water. But here's the secret. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index. This indicates that it rapidly raises blood sugar levels, much like candy. In addition, older adults suffer significant harm from regular sugar spikes, especially to their legs. Let's dissect it. Your body releases insulin when your blood sugar levels rise quickly. However, insulin is poorly regulated in aging bodies. Inflammation results from this, especially in places with insufficient circulation. Where does it appear? Calves, ankles, knees. You might experience immediate leg fatigue after eating, a dull discomfort when taking a quick walk, that strange, persistent swelling around your ankles. Climbing stairs begins to feel like ascending a mountain. Watermelon has a light texture. However, inside, it functions like a charming trap, gently wearing down your legs. Most people eat a lot because it's juicy and refreshing. One slice becomes 2, then 3. More sugar, more strain, increased inflammation. It's misleading. You believe you're drinking water. Your blood sugar is spiking instead. Your circulation is having trouble. Your legs are suffering as a result. Does watermelon truly help older adults stay hydrated? Or does each bite subtly increase the discomfort of movement? It might be time to reconsider if the watermelon on your plate is erratic, and your legs have been feeling more fatigued recently. 5. Oranges. The acid attack on joints. Let's move on to a fruit associated with vitamin C and health. Juices, immune-boosting concoctions, and breakfast inclusions. However, older adults may experience an acid attack on their joints. Let's discuss oranges. Oranges, the fifth fruit, are an acid attack on joints. They're bright. They have a fresh scent. They're also all over the place. Juices, health supplements, and breakfast plates. They're said to boost immunity because of vitamin C. However, oranges can conceal an unpleasant reality for older adults, particularly those over 60. Acids, which your joints dislike, are what's behind that citrusy brightness. Oranges are abundant in citric acid. While that may seem normal, it can cause mild joint irritation, especially if your body is already fighting inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. When you wake up, you might experience gradual stiffness in your knees, persistent hip pain, that uncomfortable sensation in your legs after prolonged sitting, reduced mobility, and increased swelling. You might assume it's just aging. However, that healthy habit of drinking orange juice every morning could be contributing to the pain you are trying to prevent. Here's what really happens. Orange's citric acid has effects that go beyond the stomach. It enters your bloodstream and can exacerbate fragile joint tissues. In addition, it causes blood sugar fluctuations when mixed with the fruit's natural sugars. And what is the result of that? Inflammation throughout the body. Every step feels a little heavier and more painful, as inflammation spreads to your knees, ankles, and calves. You see, oranges may not be harmful to young people. However, the effect develops subtly in an older person with aging joints and slower circulation. The most challenging aspect is that you are doing it with the conviction that you are benefiting yourself. Since oranges have long been associated with good health, you now know that they may not be good for your health. 6. Green apples, a secret cause of leg pain. What happens next then? The following fruit has a fresh appearance. Green, crispy, and lower in sugar. Everyone believes it's a safe option. However, it hides something that can lead to night cramps, stiff knees, and aching hips. Now let's discuss green apples. Green apples, the sixth fruit, are a secret cause of leg pain. They seem crispy, clean, and organic. In addition, most individuals, especially older adults, believe they are the healthier option because they taste less sweet. It seems like a healthy, low-sugar snack. However, most people are unaware of this. Green apples can subtly cause fatigue, stiffness, and leg pain. Malic acid and hidden natural sugars are the two things that pose a threat. First, let's discuss malic acid. Green apples get their sour taste from this acid. In addition, it can be irritating to an elderly person's digestion. Even though it's excellent for young individuals, our gut lining becomes more sensitive with age. In addition, malic acid can irritate tissues, including joints, once it enters the body. After eating apples, some older individuals experience severe hip pain or thigh pain. Others feel a slight burning in their feet or a stiffness in their knees. It takes time for it to happen, but as time passes, the acid accumulates and the pain increases in frequency. Now let's discuss sugar. Green apples still contain natural sugars even if they are not as sweet as red apples. In addition, that sugar causes blood sugar fluctuations in older adults with slower metabolisms. Your calves might get tired, your legs might cramp at night, you might have muscle stiffness in the morning, or you might feel weak when climbing stairs. The most challenging aspect is that green apples are frequently consumed uncooked as a snack, or even right before bed. As a result, the body is constantly affected by them. They appear so healthy and pure. However, green apples can subtly make walking more difficult, stiffen joints, and make evening rest more restless for an aging body. 7. Mangoes, a sugar bomb for your joints. What about a tropical, rich, and incredibly sweet fruit that can have this effect if a basic fruit like this can? One of the most beloved by many. Let's discuss the true sugar bomb, mangoes. Mangoes, the seventh fruit, are a sugar explosion for your joints. Mangoes are juicy, soft, and sweet. Almost everyone loves this fruit, especially during the summer months. But here's the truth. Mangoes can be the most detrimental fruit for older adults, who suffer from weak joints and leg pain. Why? Because it contains a lot of natural sugar. And I don't mean a little. I'm talking about a significant sugar punch that will send your blood sugar levels soaring abruptly and quickly. Now, your body could typically handle that increase if you're active and under 30. However, your metabolism changes after age 60. A surge in insulin and a subsequent breakdown are caused by that sugar rush. And every time this happens, your body generates deep inflammation in your joints, especially in the soft tissues around your ankles, hips, and knees. Especially if you have nerve problems, you might experience a burning sensation in your toes, a tingling sensation that won't go away, swelling around your legs in the evening, or a pervasive heaviness in your legs. Because mangoes taste light, feel refreshing, and don't appear to be a large meal, it's very easy to consume them in larger portions. But doing so will only make it worse. However, that's the trick. The feeling of lightness is unrelated to the body. Sugar causes this reaction. In addition, over time, that sugar can lead to joint pain, slow walking, and unstable legs. Many older adults consume mangoes because they think they are a natural delight. And it is natural. However, natural does not always equate to safe for weaker circulation and aging joints. You've seen the whole picture now. Despite being lauded for their health benefits, these 7 fruits have a negative side for those over 60. Smart alternatives. Fruits that are good for older adults. However, here's the good news. Some fruits have the opposite effect. They promote healthy, sturdy legs, reduce joint pain, and combat inflammation. Next, let's discuss those alternative treatments and what older adults should eat instead. 8. Berries. Let's talk about berries. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, etc. These tiny fruits have powerful anti-inflammatory effects. They are gentle on your blood sugar, high in antioxidants, and low in sugar. Above all, they increase circulation, especially in the legs. They promote easier movement, combat stiffness, and reduce edema. 9. Cherries, in moderation. Cherries are next, but sparingly. In fact, cherries can help reduce uric acid, lowering your likelihood of developing gout and joint pain flare-ups. They lessen joint pain and that burning sensation in your knees, or toes. A handful of cherries, not a bushel, can provide significant pain relief. 10. Avocados. Next is avocado. It's a fruit, truly. It's also among the best for healthy joints. Why? Because it has a lot of good fats that reduce inflammation inside your body and cushion your joints. In addition, it supports insulin regulation, providing stable energy without blood sugar fluctuations. 11. Papayas. Are you trying to find something easy to digest? Try papaya. Enzymes found in this tender tropical fruit help reduce inflammation and facilitate digestion. It's easy on aging joints and gentle on the stomach. 12. Pears. Additionally, remember to eat pears with a bit of fiber or protein. They provide a subtle sweetness without being overly sugary. They give your body energy without putting excessive strain on your legs. Each of these fruits supports your body rather than working against it. They don't cause discomfort. They don't make you swell. They help your body achieve the strength, balance, and serenity it seeks. It's not just about eating fruit, remember? It all comes down to picking the appropriate ones for your age, the right fruit for your body right now, and you start to feel it when you consciously make those decisions. Firmer steps, calmer movements, and fresher mornings. Conclusion. Let's conclude with some final remarks, words of wisdom, and a specific message for you. One thing to let me know if you've read this far. You're worried about the future, your strength, and your health, and I want you to hear this clearly. It's never too late for you to change. You still have time to recover. And you are not the only one experiencing this. Aging is difficult. The pain, the stiffness, and the fear of falling come gradually. Also, they can occasionally give you the impression that your body is disappearing. But here's the reality. You can take charge by making reasonable, modest adjustments, rather than taking extreme measures. One meal, one fruit, and one decision at a time. While the fruits we discussed today aren't inherently harmful, they may no longer be the best for your health. And that's fine, because aging doesn't mean giving up. It's about becoming more intelligent. You will notice a difference when you start eating mindfully and choosing meals that enhance strength, circulation, and joints. Less discomfort, more flexibility, smoother mornings, and lighter steps. That's the purpose of this information, not fear or restriction. I want to hear from you now. Tell us what you learned today and what changes you're prepared to make in the comments section below. Since we all grow when we share, let's help each other. Please hit the like button if this video was helpful to you or if it even opened your eyes a little bit. Click subscribe to make sure you don't miss any information that could change your health. Turn on the bell notifications. Before you leave, please type 1 if this video was helpful. If not, type 0. You might not realize how important your comments are. Be resilient and observant, and never forget that independence is carried by your legs.